Welcome back for video number 3 of our PNM Prep series, Time Management and Chapter Obligations. This week we will discuss how to manage your time effectively while making sure you are following all of your chapter obligations.
First, let's go over chapter obligations. Here's what you should expect. Number 1, chapter meetings. These meetings are required for all active members. They are typically held on Sunday or Monday evenings right after dinner time. How convenient. You can eat dinner with your sisters and go. These are an avenue to discuss chapter events, crucial information, and to hold votes when necessary. These meetings usually last about 1 hour, dependent upon the matters at hand. Although this is an obligation for being an active member, being in a sorority is an honor, and chapter should be viewed as a privilege. You will hear these meetings often referred to as chapter. Chapter is important because it provides you the opportunity to stay informed, to let your opinion be heard through voting, and to overall spend time bonding with your sisters.
Number 2, new member meetings. These meetings are required for all new members. They are typically held on a weekday evening and can be held wherever the new member educator sees fit. A lot will occur in these meetings. This includes, but is not limited to, your sorority's ritual, founding information, chapter secrets, mottos, and values. However, you will also get a chance to team build with your pledge class to get to know one another better. Use these meetings as a time to soak in important information about your chapter and to come together as a new pledge class.
Number 3, academic standards. It's important that even after joining a sorority, you always put academics first, and your sorority will require that. Each Panhellenic sorority has its own GPA requirement, and there are consequences for not meeting those requirements. Along with GPA requirements are study hall hours that will be allotted on a needs basis. This means that you may be asked to complete and turn in a certain number of study hall hours each week. If they are not completed and turned in on time, possible repercussions could be things such as limited socials, additional study hall hours, etc. If you do not uphold your chapter's GPA minimum requirement, you may be called in for review with members of your executive board. This is not to punish you, this is to figure out in which ways the chapter can best assist you and support you in your academic strivings.
Number 4, financial obligations. It is no secret that joining a sorority can be costly, so we wanted to lay out the expenses for you here. Each sorority handles financials differently. However, across all sororities, dues pay for things such as meals Monday through Friday, date functions and socials, public service initiatives, maintenance and upkeep with the chapter house, Panhellenic dues, national dues, etc. Here we have comprised a list for you of each chapter's specific dues without chapter names. Take a close look to get a better idea of exactly how much this could cost. Freshman dues are more expensive because of new member fees. So on the left, we have given you a list of freshman year costs, and on the right, we have given you a list of the costs after becoming an active member.
Number 5, values obligations. What does this mean? Like we've discussed in previous videos, each chapter has a set of certain values that they require their members to uphold. Sometimes, members may break those values. When this is the case, that member may be called into a meeting to speak to certain women on the executive board about the situation. Don't let this scare you. These exec members are there to remind women of why they are called to uphold certain standards. If consequences are needed, it is possible that the member may lose social privileges, be required to help with chapter events, etc.
So, in conclusion, how much time are we talking about here? The answer is dependent upon the chapter. Overall, 5 to 7 hours per week on average will be spent as a new member on sorority involvement. However, keep in mind that these time commitments do not include things like date functions and socials, philanthropy events, and extra community service.
Okay, we know this may sound overwhelming, but don't panic.
Balancing sorority life with things like class, honors college, student organizations, and other things is totally manageable if you plan ahead. We went ahead and made a list to help you get started.
Number 1, keep a master calendar. Write all of your due dates down so that you can plan to work in advance. If you look at your syllabi, most professors will give you all test and homework due dates ahead of time. Write them down. Also pencil in your chapter events such as meetings, philanthropy activities, and date parties.
Number 2, utilize to-do lists. They can be so helpful to remind you of what you've already done and what you still need to do. Add time slots next to the items on your list so that you can stick to your schedule. Check things off as you go.
Number 3, find your productive time. Whether your brain does its best work in mid-mornings, early evenings, or late at night, find the allotted time that works best for you. Make sure you are being productive during those times each day.
Number 4, find quiet study time. Find time every day or every other day to dedicate to quiet study time. Be sure to turn off your phone and ask your friends and family to allow you to work without distractions. Find a place that works best for you. Try somewhere on campus like Lamar or the library. Or check out Cups or High Point Coffee.
Number 5, lastly, rank your priorities and budget your time. Rank your priorities and budget your time accordingly. What items need to get done first? Be sure to put those at the top of your list. Consider which assignments or activities have the soonest due dates. Which things are most important for your future? Focus on these.
But something to remember, recruitment is going to be so busy. Plan way ahead of time on your schoolwork. Study early for tests that you have, and get your readings done before the week starts. It will be so helpful to plan ahead.
Are you still wanting more information on how to manage your time? Need to know more about specific chapter obligations? Feel free to ask actives throughout your recruitment rounds or when you see them at CareWalk.
We are so sorry for the unforeseen technical difficulties. Be sure to check your emails later this week for more information regarding the makeup date, time, and location.
Happy Monday, and we'll see you next week.